Roblox. While we continue our party conversation. I don't know if they would have had guns, but...
Yeah, they did. They did.
Hey, I found a close game.
The officers had guns.
Well, of course.
Which, if you've seen the movie... It had what?
Flex tape. You mean like Flex Seal, Flex tape?
Honestly, you know what? Nah, I'm bringing a huge fucking roll of flex tape. Honestly.
Oh, Phil Swift. Okay, my quarterback's a dumbass.
Dude, I'm bringing him there. I'm gonna be like, you see this giant ship? It's about to hit this iceberg. What can you fucking do about it? Oh no, the water's coming in. How about you use some flex tape? Just plastics over the fucking hole. The ship magically just starts floating again. Okay, if we're talking about quickest way to go, like, you're not gonna notice it. I would honestly pick... how the people went in the Titan, though, for real.
How did that?
If you look at how quick of death they said they had, it takes your eyes, I think it's 300 milliseconds
Nice job.
to realize pain or something's wrong. And it takes your mind like 150 milliseconds or something like that to realize something is going on. Or like you're gonna feel any pain or whatever, you know? The Titan imploded in 1 millisecond. Because it depends on where you're at, though. It depends on where you're at. If you're in ground zero, you're fucking dead on impact. Dude, an asteroid strike. Dude, imagine being a fucking dinosaur, bruh. Just seeing that shit flying through the sky and you're like, what is that shiny light? And then all of a sudden the ground just starts fucking shaking and you're just over here like, yo! I wish dinosaurs never went extinct. Even though all the animals that lived around that time were fucking huge. Because I guess the oxygen was... There was more oxygen on the Earth around that time. So that's why the animals were larger. I'm like, if that never happened, if the extinction never happened, let's say dinosaurs are still here today, do you know the size of fucking bugs we would have? I mean, we already have spiders that are the size of fucking dinner plates, which that scares the living fuck out of me. And one of my friends was looking it up the other day. He's like, dude, do you know what the largest spider in the world is right now? I'm like, yeah, and I don't want to think about it because it scares the fuck out of me, but it's the Goliath bird-eating spider, I think. If I remember it correctly. And that shit's... The bird-eating... Yeah, the Goliath bird-eating spider. I think is what it's called. But that shit's huge. Like, it is fucking massive. And
Nice.
my friend's like, okay, what if I told you when the dinosaurs were alive, there was a spider that was twice the size of that? I'm like, huh? Excuse me? Did you say twice the size? No. No, I don't want that shit. Oh, fuck no.
Gay.
Dude, I have arachnophobia. Like, it's bad. And if I saw a spider that was twice the size of the Goliath bird-eating spider, which I've seen a picture, or like they have a, not really a picture of what the spider may have looked like, but they do have like a good interpretation of what it looked like. I'm like, holy fuck, that thing is huge. They said it would be the size of a horse. I'm good. Oh yeah, an ant looking at that thing being like, uh, fuck, no, is what I would be saying to a spider if it looked like that. Like,
Um,
I don't think you're outrunning that thing. Oh no, if I see it anywhere near my house, I am running for my life. And like, could you imagine the size of the webs that it would have? Honestly, if it did, I would be its lunch. Hey, but the good thing about me though is that I don't have a lot of meat except for my thighs and my butt. So, you know, maybe the spider won't eat me because I'm just like a drumstick basically. Hell no. So, like, my friend's like, all right, so you're afraid of spiders. I'm like, yeah, but you're fine with dinosaurs. I'm like, hell yeah, dinosaurs are cool. Spiders are just creepy. A pet T-Rex, dude. Nah, if you've seen Jurassic World, you know with the raptors, that that would be me. Having like 4 or 5 raptors, that would be fucking awesome. Nah, like if dinosaurs live among us, I I wouldn't really be scared, but like going out in forests and stuff, like camping would be a lot more terrifying. Could you imagine like camping, getting some s'mores and like, like you're about to put your fire out and all of a sudden you just start hearing this thud, thud, thud. You're like, what the fuck is that? And the ground just starts shaking more and more and more, and you're just like, the fuck is happening? Yeah, and like, you're like, shut the fuck up. And like, you turn and look just a little bit, like, out into the forest, and you just see the glowing eyes of a fucking T-Rex, like, walking through. the trailer park or campsite. Dude, nah, that would be terrifying. But
1
my
minute warning.
dumbass be like, Mom, can we keep it? Yeah, I think the decision would be up to the T-Rex. But, I mean, I think it would be nice to me. I'll give it a huge leash. I would use it. Like, you know when a dog, like, gets, like, focused on something so it just starts running after it? Could you imagine walking like a T-Rex and it sees something that, like, it interests it, so it just takes the fuck off? I can barely calm down my
Bruh.
fucking miniature schnauzer mixed with a freaking dachshund. You think I'm gonna be able to control a fucking 50-foot beast that probably weighs more than a goddamn school bus? But like, I think dinosaurs would be cool. Honestly. Oh, like if you were to hunt down a T-Rex. Ooh. Ooh, I think that could feed a lot of people, honestly. Nah, you know, like, I like fishing. I like, you know, being out on the water and stuff. Don't get me started with a fucking megalodon. You know, because we always hear stories about the Loch Ness Monster and stuff like that. What if the
Let's
megalodons were
go.
still
We win.
alive? You know,
Barely.
Jurassic Park showed us why having dinosaurs, bringing back dinosaurs would be a bad idea. What if we brought back a prehistoric shark that would make our whales look like fucking little tiny bull sharks?
We win. We win. We win.
Like, to me, I think it'd be cool again,
Boom boom boom
but
ba boom ba boom 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 ba
like,
boom.
you're just out there, like, on a boat with your friends, and all of a sudden you start to hear the Jaws music.
Ba-da.
Ba-da,
Ba-da.
ba-da. And one of your friends is like, dude, I'm gonna jump in the water, and you're like, no, wait! And then as soon as the music reaches its highest peak, the fucking megalodon just jumps out of the fucking water, eats your fucking friend, being like, what the fuck?
Alright, here we go.
Honestly, I would love to see some prehistoric stuff come back,
Fuck.
but those would just be terrifying, to be honest.
Fuck.
You can bring back anything. You can bring back even Titanoboa. If you don't know what that is, you should look it up. The Titanoboa is like, if you gave a anaconda, right? You gave an anaconda steroids times 1,000.
Damn, so close.
That's Titanoboa. Huh? People said that they could actually bring those back because they're a little more closer to our time frame, and humans, younger versions of humans, kind of threw them away. Or the saber-toothed tiger. Saber-tooth, cyber, whatever. Fuck off. Look up Titanoboa in a picture and tell me what you see.
Hey, I got drafted. Bomb again on Roblox.
You sound like my girlfriend.
Bomb
Yeah.
again.
Uh-huh. Titanoboa? Yeah.
Funny how people came up with dinosaur sounds without actually ever hearing one.
No, do you hear the sounds now?
Yeah.
Those sound much more terrifying.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, like, if I heard, like, one of the, you know, sounds that they used in the Jurassic Park movies, right? And even Jurassic World, I think it'd be pretty dope if a dinosaur sounded like that. If I heard a T-Rex sound like that or whatever. But the sounds I've been hearing now, if I heard a T-Rex ever sound like that, when I'm just out about in nature, I am crying. I don't even know where people are getting sounds of actual dinosaurs. I don't even know how that's possible. I just want to find life on other planets at this point.
Damn
I
it.
want Men in Black to become a reality. And you can't tell me I'm wrong that the Men in Black movies were not one of the best movies ever made. Will Smith made that shit so fucking funny. I need to watch Men in Black. It's been a while. Especially Men in Black 3. When, like, they started out with, like, K in the fucking post office. And, like, they went back in time to kill Boris. That killed freaking K. All that time jumping shit. Ooh! Do you think time travel's possible?
It's not. Unfortunately, it's not. I would love it to be. No? Oh. Okay.
No, like, could we make the DeLorean? Could we
That's
make the
no.
TARDIS? Dude, come on, the TARDIS is a fucking classic. You know, Back to the Future made the DeLorean car popular because that car was shit. Low as hell, that car was fucking shit. That movie made that car popular. If that movie never existed, no way in hell that car would be popular. In no way people would be driving that car today. I can assure you that. I honestly want to get one though, and put the flux capacitor in it, like all the time circuits, just to act like it freaking could go back in time. But I just think, you know, at some point, because maybe, you know what, I'm gonna say this. I don't think everything is impossible, you know what I mean? I think they're just impossible right now. Nobody thought we'd be able to talk to each other from across the world just with our little freaking communication devices known as phones. Yo, smart fridges are too fucking futuristic for this time. I swear to God. Nah, but like, I always see like space movies like about living in outer space. I think that shit would be cool.
Eh.
And I was thinking about it. Could the human race become a multi-planetary species? Mm-hmm. And like speaking of that, you don't have to watch this if you're not really into, you know, like space facts or you don't really understand much of any of this. But watch this documentary. It's on YouTube and it's free and I watch it all the time. And it makes me really think about this too. Watch the documentary called Evacuate Earth. It's this really cool documentary talking about like, so there's a neutron star that a star died, a massive star died way across the galaxy, right? And when those big stars die and explode, that core ends up being shot millions of miles an hour in a direction. And that core kind of like gets very dense and it turns into a neutron star. Which they are the second most powerful things in the universe other than a black hole, right? So basically, anything that gets in its path will be annihilated. And basically, like, the documentary is like about, okay, we got 75 years from the time that neutron star gets to our solar system and to our planet, which will ultimately destroy all human life unless we somehow within that 75-year time period, because before that we never thought we could create a spacecraft that could take us to different planets and stuff because we just don't ever see immediate danger. That means that we have to leave Earth and never return. Exactly. So like if we had something like this just come out of nowhere, it'd be like, okay, we got 75 years to build basically Noah's Ark of a spaceship to take humanity to places that we never thought we could get to before our planet is ultimately destroyed and we lose everything. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So like basically you have 75 years and they talk about like our conventional rockets, and they say like, why don't we use those? There's multiple issues with that. It's the type of fuel, and the more fuel you add on, it's just going to add to the weight of the ship, which means you need even more fuel to power it. So it just doesn't work. And we wouldn't be able to come up with that in that time frame and stuff like that.
Oh
So
my
then they
god.
thought of, solar sails. Like they basically use like the sails of a ship, right? But they use the sun's energy as a way to propel the ship, which is it's a very good way to get you going very, very fast. But as you get further and further away from the sun, that's less energy that's pushing on you, which basically means you're not going to get very far away out of the solar system. Which again, you're going to have to go we're probably going to have to go to maybe the other side of the galaxy to get away from this thing. So it's like, alright, so that's not going to work. What about antimatter? It's a good choice. Antimatter is it's basically the opposite of matter. So like it's very powerful, but it's also very unstable. So like basically it's a good thing, and it's much more powerful than our original rockets that we have now, which could get us going very fast. But you have to keep that antimatter in a chamber with a bunch of other atoms and stuff to keep it basically in the center. Because if it comes into contact with any part of the chamber, it's going to explode. So it's basically a bomb. But it can get you to a fraction of the speed of light. So it's good, it's just too dangerous. So, crap. Okay, now what are we going? We can't use our conventional rockets. We can't use solar sails because they'll eventually run out of thrust. And antimatter is too dangerous. So they're basically like kind of like stuck. They don't really know where to go. And it's like, we're running out of time here. We gotta pick a place, pick something that's gonna work, and just go. Because it's not like you can just deflect the neutron star in a different direction, which is what we are going to do with asteroids if they come in contact with the Earth. You can't do that to a neutron star. You can't blow it up. You can get out of its way, or you can just sit there and suffer the consequences of outer space. They do eventually figure out something that will work, or something that is very easy to make and obtain, but it's over 50 years old. And it comes from when we were testing nuclear bombs
That's what you get.
back in the 60s and stuff.
Fucking dumbasses keep never throwing it my way.
They had a prototype that used bombs to like propel it up into the air. So technically, you could detonate these bombs, so to speak, like push them out away from the ship, they'll explode, cause a wave that will push your ship along, and just have them on a timer every like 5 or 6 seconds, and you can get going pretty fast. So yeah, basically using like the forces of the bombs themselves, like when the bomb explodes. Yeah. It like it gives off that energy, and you can use that as a way as propulsion. Bombs are definitely much easier to make than fuel. They are much more controlled explosions than you could say antimatter. And it could probably get you up to maybe 20% of light speed, which is pretty damn fast. And where you're probably needing to go is millions upon millions of miles away. So after they picked that as an option that will work, now they have like 50-something years left. Okay, so we got what we're going to use for our rocket, or this Ark ship that's going to save humanity. Now we need to know how many people can go. Yeah, how are you going to pick this? So there are some religions and countries that think this is just too weird, too wild, it's not going to work. You might as well just suffer the consequences. And they'll try to basically stop whoever tries to work at it from working. So some countries might tear themselves apart. You got some countries that are just going to take themselves out from the projects anyways, giving their citizens literally no chance to get off the planet. Basically what they do is they get like NASA and some other countries to send out like these do-it-yourself like tests. Because on this journey, we don't know how far we're going to need to go, but we're going to want the most healthiest of people. People that have no underlying health conditions. And you want younger people that are able to preserve the human race depending on how far you want to go. Or you need to go. So they eventually come up with the number around 250,000. When there's 7 billion people, it's impossible to get 7 billion people off the earth. You can't do it, especially, you eventually can, but you can't do it within that certain time frame. So you're basically just saying we gotta send out as many people as we can that are healthy, that are young enough, and that can preserve the human race for multiple generations, depending on how far, this next planet is. So they eventually figure out these people. They get the captains and crew that will embark on this journey. So now you got all that figured out. we're running out of time. We don't know where we want to go yet, or how far we are going to have to go. And you still have to take into account how much food are we going to have. Are we going to be able to take animals and, you know, resources that humans need on Earth, take with us to be able to survive on that? So now it's just all this thinking about what are we going to do? How big of a ship are we going to need to build? You're going to need a day-night cycle in that ship, so humans are not going absolutely insane. You're gonna need some sort of water source, or, you know, some sort of way to preserve the water that you have, be able to make this journey. And they do eventually find a planet that's basically almost identical to Earth. Got a good atmosphere, it's got oxygen, got water, and at least for right now, it's uninhabited. Uninhabited, right? That makes sense? So it's like, alright, we got the planet. Good. We got 30-some years. Now we gotta start building ship. And you have all these countries like the USA, Canada, Japan, Russia, Germany, the Netherlands, you know, all these countries coming together to help gain resources in the building ship. They eventually figure out that the ship needs to be at least 2 miles long and 2 miles wide in diameter. They figured out that the ship needs gravity, and there is a way you can do this, like how they test astronauts. They put astronauts in like a little capsule and like spin them around really fast. Basically, you can build like a cylinder, like a really long cylinder type tube. It's 2 miles long, 2 miles wide, and you can have it spin at a certain speed, but when you're on the ship or inside the ship, it's not going to look like you're spinning, because it's just spinning to keep your gravity and stuff. And they'll have a light bar that basically goes straight down the center of the ship that'll do a day-night cycle. They figured out all the food that they need, water, who's going to get to go, who's going to have to stay. Which, I mean, if you're one of the people that couldn't go just because of maybe your family had health issues that you never had, they just don't want to take the risk, I would be upset. Like, I would be upset. So, like, people, like, you would have terrorist groups trying to shut down this project, trying to do everything they can to basically say, no, we're not gonna let this happen. Humans are going to
Wide
die on
open,
this
and they won't
planet.
even throw it to me. I'll just leave the server. Fuck them.
I'm always fucking open.
I am open. They're just ignoring me. So fuck them. I'm leaving.
So they do that, and now you got 20 years left, and the neutron star is now starting to get in the solar system.
Fucking hate that.
You're starting to run out of time. You're running out of
Oh,
time.
just when the game was
They
over.
start building the ship, and since the ship is so large, you can't build it on the surface and expect it to shoot up into outer space all by itself. you're gonna have to do what humans haven't had to do since we had to build a space station, which is build in outer space. You're gonna have to build it up there, get everything ready up there, bring all the passengers on other spacecraft up there, and go. And Neutron Star, it started to mess with the planet's orbits. Like the outer planets start acting a little weird. And the gravity is so strong from the neutron star that it's ripping planets apart. It's like stretching them out. It's stretching out the gas giants. And then they eventually get sucked into the neutron star. And you know, Earth, as it's a rocky planet itself, it's not going to be able to hold itself. So there's much more earthquakes. There's different sea patterns. You basically know the world's fucking ending.
I'm finally team captain. Finally team captain.
They finally get everyone on the ship. About
but there's 4
7
people.
or 8 years left. And some of those families that had to stay in that little spaceship area that they basically lived at for the entire project of the ship, you know, they start to see another bright light in the sky instead of the sun. And it's sending radiation and meteors and just throwing basically everything it can at the Earth, making life living hell if you were still on the planet. And if you weren't dead already from all this, it's only gonna get fucking worse. Exactly. So as the ship that they built finally, just in the next time, as it's going away, which, by the way, the way that they propelled it, like with those bombs, there's a pressure plate that every time the bombs explodes, it pushes that pressure plate into the ship and then presses out, and that's how it went. And they use nuclear bombs instead of just regular conventional bombs. They use nuclear bombs. They have more power than a regular bomb, so, I mean... It's not like the Earth's already gonna fucking die. You might as well just fuck it up.
Nah, we gotta save it. We gotta save it.
You can't save it from a neutron star.
You could...
Like...
You could save it from anything.
If there was a planet-killing sized asteroid, yeah, we could do everything we can to save the planet. But a neutron star, you can't blow it up. You can't pull it off its course. You can't push the planet, because I don't even know if that's physically possible. Fucking Goku. The neutron star is going to destroy the Earth. It's a rocky planet. It can't hold against the pressure of the gravity. I don't know. The forces of the gravity tearing the Earth apart. So, like, if you were on the spaceship as it's going away from the Earth, and this was, like, really, really sad, and it kind of made me, like, cry, just, like, thinking about this, because this could actually happen. Like, if your kid's playing basketball on the ship, you know, just acting like life is normal, you know, and they look out the window of the ship, and you can see that bright little neutron star as it's getting closer to the Earth, and you can see the Earth slowly tearing itself apart. as it's going into the neutron star. That would be terrifying and really sad at the same time, because if you had friends that couldn't have gone on the trip with you or couldn't go on the ship with you just because of their family, they're there on that planet if they're not dead already. Like, I couldn't just imagine what it's going like on the surface of the Earth. And as it's just being torn apart and the lava spewing out from the Earth and all that. Like if we waited just a little bit longer, we probably wouldn't have gotten out of its way. And we would have suffered the consequences of what the dinosaurs faced, but on a much, much, much larger scale. Yeah, like, but that documentary also made me fucking terrified of outer space. So I don't know what I would rather. I don't know if I would rather like to be at the bottom of the ocean or in outer space.
Bottom of the ocean.
I don't know. Both places are really scary.
Bottom of the ocean.
Did you say bomb the ocean?
Either way.
If
Bottom.
See, I don't like outer space and I don't like the ocean. Like, I don't like either or. But if I had a choice, I would rather go up into outer space. Like, not into, like, outer space, you know? Like, beyond the Earth's gravity. I wouldn't want to go that far. I just want to be still connected with the Earth because I would still feel somewhat safe. No! God, I fucking hate that. That's still.
You know what? We're calling it a night. I'm tired. I thought he was gonna catch that. I was trying to do something interesting. But good day. Good night.